Hi, I'm Mike of Nearly Enough Dice, and this is the Kerbal Space Program. You can't see my lovely face. Now you can see my lovely face. You may or may not think that was an improvement. Okay, this is Pallas VI. Which I'm going to, it's a grasshopper. I'll not change it at the moment. This is Pallas VI. I think 6 is where I'm up to, but, well, 6 is where I'm up to. 6, regardless, whether or not I'm actually up to 6, I'm up to 6. It is a completely redesigned rover, largely because I can't find my Pallas V. So this is a dedicated grasshopper rover. It does not have wheels on it at all. It's going to be entirely on legs. So it's got some fuel tanks, and it's got, it's the usual thing. It's all based around a Science Junior, and so on. And it's so ridiculously overspec, actually, that I've gotten to the moon with a ton of fuel. Now, I'm going to use some of it in a second, and by a second I mean 26 minutes, because I have decided to pick on a clustered group of quest markers. Sorry, it's quests. I'm not playing World of Warcraft. Contract markers. These green ones, which I tried to get to with poor Pallas V, which Pallas V was really good, apart from the fact when I tried to move it on wheels, then it all went wrong. But anyway, poor Pallas V. So Pallas V was going for these ones, Q78, but you've also got to go up all the way up to here, and I think there was. Is there another one? I think there's another one there. That's all part of the same contract. I think these ones are a different shade of green, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure. So I've got these ones here, which I think are seismometers. They are in fact seismic. 3 seismic readings at a relatively close proximity to one another. So the hope is I'm going to be able to get there, get this mission, get the science there, and possibly, if I have enough Delta V left over, rendezvous with Athena. Yeah, slightly ambitious mission profile, maybe. I'm going to add a maneuver. So my next maneuver, my current maneuver is. In fact, I will not do this. I'm not going to do this now. What I'm doing here, is I've got a maneuver here which is going to give me an inclination change. So I shall be nearish to these sites here. I still haven't come up with a targeting thing to point me at where I want to be, because following waypoints can be a bit of a pain. But so yeah, that is the next thing. So I'm just gonna chuck in what's the burn time? About 30 seconds. So I tend to come out of my alarms. Like it's a burn time of 13 seconds. So I put 13 seconds before the maneuver node as my alarm clock, even though there we are. We are on the other side of the planet, of the moon. Sorry, I put 13 seconds on the alarm clock, even though the burn is going to take 13 seconds. So it's actually half of. So I'm slightly, it gives me some extra room. Now, inclination changes are relatively expensive. I mean, what I could have done, apart from the fact that I hadn't actually decided what my target was going to be, what I could have done is way back when I was getting my first orbit, when I was actually getting my encounter with the moon. That's when I could have relatively cheaply changed my inclination. But I didn't. So there you go. So I'm doing it now. With the ridiculous overspecking of this ship, I should be okay. So my node follower is up and running and is pointing in the right direction, so I don't really need to do anything. Yeah, I had a ridiculous amount of fuel left. I had more fuel left after my orbit. Getting into orbit, I had more fuel than I thought I had. In fact, I nearly had enough with my orbiter stage to get me an encounter with the moon, which is kind of impressive. So I may have over-designed this slightly. Or possibly I'm just flying it a bit more efficiently, as impossible as that may seem. So we're going to set a maneuver node here. Again, that's just purely to work out when to start the burn. Right, so whoops. Okay, so it's going to take 42 seconds. As you can see, the moon is in fact wandering below us, so does not like that maneuver node, because that's, I mean, the maneuver node is actually very silly. I mean, it's deliberately set up to be stupid. But it's still about 40 odd seconds. So I set my alarm. And give it 40 seconds. So it's saying 46, so it's actually 23. So I'm going to leave the node there, but I'm not actually going to. So I'm going to cancel out of the follow node program. So when this gets to 23, seconds, that's when I'm going to run my lander script. I'm not, in fact, going to engage my lander engine, so I don't think I'm going to need to. Yeah, so now we're more, well, I was about to say now we're slightly better sunlight. Yeah, we can kind of see it. We can kind of see it. So basically, it's just some gas tanks, 48 7S's, Werner engines for docking, solar panels, science, and transmitter. That's pretty much all it is. So run land. And when that gets to 23, I'm going to put the SAS on, make sure that's on follow. On stability assist, and not trying to go retrograde or anything stupid like that. So I'm not going to engage the lander engine, because I don't believe I need to. I've got a much bigger engine on this thing. I've actually got a poodle. Because the really long burns from on the transfer stage, it's like 3 minutes. It's like, I hate that. As it turned out, oh, and also I've just got tons of fuel in it, so I don't need to engage them. I don't need their fuel. Somewhat to my surprise, because up to this point, the rockets I've been designing just took that. They didn't have enough to deorbit me. Right, so those are seismic readings I want. So I'm probably going to leave zone gamma. Yeah. I can get rid of that actually. So I'm going to have some work to do. Really need to sort that. Probably what I'm going to need to do is set up a save point right before landing and just run loads and loads and loads of landings. That's interesting. Oh yeah, because I'm past my periapse. Yeah. Now this is going to be exciting to watch because although I have lights pointing down from the lander, as you can see, I don't know anything on the lander itself. So you actually can't see it very well at this point. So now we're in the exciting suicide dive phase of everything. Now I'm not going to... I think I'm going to have some fuel left by the time this is all over. I suddenly realised I do in fact want all my engines engaged. And you'll notice that immediately change the calculated burn distance, so it's constantly keeping track of what the ISP of this craft is, and the maximum thrust and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually keeping that in mind. But I will want to have these engines on, because when it's hovering, that's the stage at which I want to ditch this bottom tank, and not before. And if I don't have those engines on when I'm hovering, then I'll suddenly fall from the sky and I'll look like an idiot. Even more than I normally do, which is quite a lot. Right, so I think I was in a very high orbit. So I've got 11 clicks to fall, and it's saying here 600 meters of the burn to actually do. That might, should be interesting to see how far that goes. Yeah, I hate this bit so much. It's even worse in the dark. I can't see anything. No idea what's going to happen. Right, so it's going to take me at this point. So it looks like it's going to be at least, by the time I actually finish, it's going to be at least 1 kilometer to stop. I'm going to see if my amazing 100-meter safety margin, let's see how well that does. Man, this is frightening. Don't like this. I should probably be able to work things out. I'm constantly recalculating how long it's going to take to stop. But theoretically, it should all just be maths. I know where I am. I know what the altitude is. I know how long it's going to take me to fall, and da 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 da. So I should be able to go, yeah, wait this many seconds, and then go full burn, and then you'll know. So over 1,300 meters to stop. So I'm going to be going any second now. Oh, this isn't going to work. There's no way this can work. There's no way this can work. Ah! Ah! Ooh. Well, I was right. There was no way it could work. Ooh. Well, there you go. Something went wrong there. Okay, let's see what remains, if anything. Okay. Let's undock this. Okay, so I've lost most. No, have I lost the engine? No, I've lost the landing. I lost one of my landing gear. So I'm now a tripod. The inner engines are still on. I've lost all the lovely fuel I brought with me, which is a shame. So these are slightly down. So if I look at my vessel, I've only got 4 and just under 4,500 delta V. Well, that's very interesting. So whether the calculations were wrong, or whether I was drifting and things were higher up than I thought they were, or whether it's just the calculations were just wrong. There you go. Well, we're going to have to learn. I haven't even knocked all the lights off. Which is pretty impressive. Okay, now where am I? Do I count as being under any of the... I don't think so. Right, for all good, it's right. Quickly check the fuel. It's mostly my electric charge I'm worried about at this point. See how many of my panels survived. Not that it's not that the panels are a huge amount of use in the dark. But. So, despite various failures, it wasn't quite as bad as it could have been. Lost a bunch of fuel, which is kind of sad. But and I've lost a set of gears. Landings. I've lost a landing strap. Okay, that actually wasn't a good idea. Kid hover. Ooh, that's interesting. Oh, another one. Set your offset. Really need to fix this. So we're just going to head over this way a little bit. I think, trying to work out which way I think they're. Yeah, that's the temperature thing, so there you go. So I think I'm pointing this way. The burner engine's all working. Just going to see if I can find a slightly flatter spot to land in. That doesn't look like it. Right, so that could have gone better. Okay, my landing script, my suicide burn script did not work, and I'm not quite sure why. It certainly didn't start firing soon enough. There's that. Let's kill. Oh, no, I want to go this way. And now I'm going to just drop. This isn't hugely flat, but it's not bad. Okay, it's really not flat at all. I think if I'm going to be using the hover jets, the RCS to move about, then I might want to change what version of my hover script to use. Yeah, let's try landing here. No, this is really hard. This is really slopey. Don't like it. See what we can find down here. Given this thing is a tripod, it's presumably going to be really rather unstable. Especially, well, actually, I've suddenly realised my missing leg is going to be pointing down the slope, which is not clever at all. What I really want to do, let's go up a bit. What I really wish to do is slow down. Start. Oh no, I want to go this way. Yeah, this is feeling a little less slopey actually. Maybe it's just the angle I'm looking at it from. Yeah. And given how slightly ridiculous the kick from the landing gear was a bit vicious, so this is one of those situations where I absolutely definitely do not want to. You can see actually in the difference in the floodlights what the slope is like. But yeah, I definitely don't want to. I need a different switch off script to. I need a different switch off on the script to what I have been using, which is the gears. What is wrong with me? Oh Lord! Oh man! I need a different switch off than the gear. That's something to look at next time. Something's just gone wrong. Oh no, that was just me hitting enter instead of. Okay, now things. Right, yeah. So I can't get any closer than that. So I don't know where these things are relative to me. Okay. So list all waypoints. That's not helpful. List all there we go. So it's PoE alpha, beta, and gamma that I actually want. So set get WP to waypoint. And I need to type this out pretty much exactly as it is. So zone. Now here's a question: is that PO or is it P0? It's PO. That's good. PO OE OE gamma print target .p. Right. So. Is that right? There we go. So, this is stuff I really need to do in code at some point. So I can do heading. So what that is telling me is what heading I need to go to in order to get to that target. What things I can in theory do if in code, if I could do a pit hover and that looks in and checks to see if there's a target and a target waypoint, and then it can have an arrow that points me in the direction so I know where to go. But I've got a heading of 265. So run kid hover. I'm going to write down 265. So I forgot there was a clear screen in that. So set myself so I'm pointing up. And I'm heading that way because that's the way I was heading. That's the way I was pointing because of the slope. So let's see if we can't change our heading. Theoretically, yes, but this isn't simple at all. So I'm currently just going in a random direction completely. Nothing. That's interesting. Nothing's changing my heading. The heading is just where I'm pointing. Okay. What was it? 265. So allegedly, somewhere around here, I'm heading in the correct direction. Head a little bit more that way. Here's a thing I could have done. Now that hasn't actually helped me because I can't. I'm not. Uh, I'm not bent over so far that I can actually see where the target is. This is also the most inefficient way of doing this. So I am pointing in 265, so I should be going more or less 265. There you go. And now I'm pointing more or less straight up. Things I need to work on. Well, anyway, I'm going to head off and see if I can't do some science. This is like a 90% successful thing. So there you go. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. Come visit us at nearlyenoughdice.com if you happen to like tabletop role-playing games. Because we have a podcast, we've got a blog, various other bits and pieces. But until next time, reach for the stars.